Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faith, and today guys, I'll be checking out Ben Shapiro reacts to insane woke TikToks. Much ado, let's see what Ben Shapiro has for us in this video.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here doing more TikTok videos. You keep forcing us to do this because you keep watching the other TikTok videos. And then my producers are like, you know what? People really seem to like you responding to the TikTok videos. So let's do more of those. So if you wish to keep torturing me, then watch this one as well and refer it to your friends. This video is sponsored by Giant Partners.
There's no way out of here.
I wear a mask to school. I wear a mask to school. Hi ho the Dario. I wear a mask to school. It helps to keep me safe. It helps to keep me safe. Hi ho the Dario. It helps to keep me safe.
Nope. Just notice a couple things about this video first. Kid, bottom left corner. Where's the mask?
Gotcha.
Under his nose, isn't it? Yeah, that's not going to be super effective. Also, virtually all of these masks are cloth, correct? There's like one kid here wearing a surgical mask. The surgical mask doesn't fit her face properly because it's an adult surgical mask. There's been widespread data on whether masking small children in schools is conducive to actually preventing spread of the disease. The answer is at best inconclusive. Do you know what helps to keep kids safe? Being kids. That is literally the number one factor in keeping kids safe from COVID. Not the masks, not the vaccines, the fact that they are small children. The number of children who are dying from COVID is exorbitantly low. Very, very, very low. Thank God. To pretend that it is the mask that is keeping them safe rather than, their youth is, of course, to ignore all possible data. Very silly stuff. This is all perfectly logical. It's all, just follow the science, guys. Follow the science.
This pathway that I'm on is public space, but this park, if you can call that a park, isn't. It is for the use of the residents only, but as you can see, there are no residents in the park because it's a park. And yet, I can guarantee that this park fulfills perfectly its role. It adds value to the surrounding properties, not by providing a pleasant space for the residents, but by asserting the exclusiveness of this complex. The only function of this area is to be a marker of social segregation.
What in the damn?
Okay. By social segregation, do you mean private property? Literally every fence, every door, every lock represents a segregation of private property from other properties that are not private or other private properties. I'm not sure exactly what he's whining about. Is the alternative that there should be no locks on doors, there should be no fences, there should be no gates, and that everybody should have common ownership of all things? Because that seems to be the suggestion here.
So that's another reason we need communism.
This is one of the many ways in which the space can be violent in this country.
Oh my God, it's violent space. And it reinforces and affirms social segregation. That is not segregation. Segregation is where you are barred from a particular place because of an immutable characteristic. This is like saying that if I leave my door locked on my car, I have now created a violent space because of the social segregation that distinguishes the owners and users of the car from people who are outside the car, who are barred from the use of the car. The notion of exclusivity is key to the notion of personal rights. Property is an extension of that.
I got cornered by 3 of my 6th grade students at lunch today, and they came up to me all excited. They were like, Miss Collins, what's your sexuality? And I said, why do you need to know that right now? And they were like, oh, I don't know. I just think you'd be like a super fun, like, bi or pan person. And I said, well, I don't really know how much I'm allowed to talk about this to students, but does looking at my shoelaces help?
What?
And these kids just flipped out. They were so excited.
So either the story didn't happen, which is possible, or the story did happen, in which case I'm really questioning both the teaching tactics of this school and the parenting tactics of the kids. You run up to people and you ask them about their sexuality and sexual orientation, and then as a teacher, you're subtly signaling to your students your gender and sexual identity via shoelaces. This is all so important. It's so huge. Our society, what a mature, well-developed society we are. What an enriching society. Like, lives are becoming so much better because of this stuff, clearly.
And in case you didn't know, that was sarcasm.
I still wear a mask, even though I am twice vaccinated. That's my gang sign.
Why then? Also, I don't think you have a gang sign. And if you do have a gang sign, that's the worst gang ever. I think a terrible gang. In a gang fight, I'm not going to pick your gang. I just don't think I don't think it's going to be a good gang. That's also the sign for Wakanda, isn't it? Right? Isn't that like the Wakanda thing?
Wakanda forever!
Isn't that cultural appropriation in some way? Twice vax. Yeah, man.
That's my gang sign.
Part 3 of the ways that the world is just physically built to favor cis men. Starting off strong, N95 masks often don't properly fit the faces of women or Asian
Okay, can we stop it right there? Sometimes they don't fit people well because there are different sizes of N95 masks. Okay. End of story. Okay, next.
CPR dummies are almost always male-bodied.
Okay, stop it right there. CPR dummies are almost always male-bodied. Who's more likely to suffer a heart attack, a male or a female?
Women often cannot reach the safety bars on the metro.
Okay, I love this one. I like. Okay, this one is pretty great. Women can't reach the safety bars. Let's think about this one for a second. The reason that women can't reach the bar is because if you move it significantly lower, people are going to be banging their head into it all the time. Like, what do you expect to like? It has to be a certain height so people aren't ramming their face into it.
We also often can't properly grip household tools that are made for male hands.
Okay, stop it right there. Yes, you know who mostly buys household tools like that drill? Men. People buy products at different rates based on sex. Oh boy. Okay, continue.
It's considered totally normal for women to take birth control and deal with all of these side effects, but barely anybody ever talks about making birth control for men.
Wait. Virtually nobody ever talks about making birth control for men. Presumably she is unaware that condoms have been a thing for a very, very super duper long time. So yes, that's like there is birth control for men. Trojan is very grateful for that possibility. I'm sorry that reality doesn't cut in favor of the silliness.
Let's talk about chairs. Full pun intended, chairs are the biggest fucking issue in the fat community. The amount of public spaces like doctor's offices, malls, what the ever, places that have seating, restaurants, etc., never ever have accessible seating. If you have never looked at a picture of a restaurant on Google Maps to try and figure out if the seating would be accessible to your size, if you've never broken a chair in a public space especially, if you've never had to second guess whether or not it was okay to sit down in the chairs provided to you, if you've never had a fucking panic attack at school because you couldn't fit into the damn chair desk situation, then you don't deal with fat phobia at the same level that the rest of us do.
If you sat down on a chair and the chair breaks, which if that happens, is the chair fat phobic? Listen, there are people who have genetic predispositions toward obesity, and that's really sad, and that's really terrible, and that's really, unfortunate. But the notion that all chairs everywhere are supposed to be built with the possibility in mind that you are 200 pounds overweight is insane. Like, this notion that all of reality has to conform to you, that no one will ever have to experience any level of discomfort because they differ from the average in any way, which seems to be a common theme of these videos, is really self-centered and really stupid.
Catholicism is right up there with capitalism in killing people and making this world a miserable, miserable place. So you practicing Catholicism means that you are no longer my mother, no longer someone I look up to, and you're just as bad as the person who murdered the cow to make that hearse. So go ahead, carry your dead cow around, walk into your Catholic church, and listen to them preaching bigotry and hatred, and you can just become a freaking Republican if that's what you really want to be, because you won't go to another freaking church. That's pathetic.
I feel that parenting has gone wrong in many ways. Man, the people who believe that they are just the most morally virtuous among us tend to also be the most obnoxious among us.
If you espouse to the idea that Jesus was born of a virgin birth, then Jesus could not have had male chromosomes. Therefore, Jesus had only female chromosomes and presented as masculine. So, Jesus was non-binary. And in terms of male and female, and the Hebrew, the word that was used for "and" describes a spectrum. Male and female and everything in between.
I am not an expert on Christian theology, but my understanding is that the idea is that Jesus was both fully human and also fully God. Is this correct? Christians, anywhere around here?
Yup.
Yes, this is correct. Okay. If that is indeed the case, then Jesus would have had to have the full chromosomal slate in order to be fully human. This means that if Jesus was male, he was male.
That's a man.
Now, let's talk about the bizarre invocation of Hebrew here. There is no word for and in Hebrew. There's a prefix in Hebrew for and. It's the letter vav. And in Hebrew means the same thing that and in English does. It means this thing and that thing. It does not mean a full spectrum. That is incredibly silly. That is bad Hebrew grammar.
I'm out of here. I've got Hebrew school.
So the people who watch TikTok are very young people. This is sort of bleeding edge crazy. But here's what we've learned over the past couple of decades. Bleeding edge crazy eventually becomes mainstream crazy. So if you want to see what's coming down the pike in terms of our society, all you have to do is watch a little bit of TikTok, and it makes you want to immediately take the first spacecraft out of this place.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Thanks for suffering through this with me. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. Maybe recommend some other TikTok videos you'd like to see me respond to. We'll see you here next time.
Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting one from Ben Shapiro. I love to react to Ben Shapiro, react to these TikToks, because the kind of things that goes on that app called TikTok is mind-boggling. I'm wanting other people to accept their theory, which is sometimes or most times absolutely not right. I love reacting to Ben because the way he bashes these woke TikTokers is so funny, and I really had fun reacting to this video. If you guys totally enjoyed watching, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.